Hello friends, in this session we will see stability in frequency domain. We will also see what are the different tools through which stability in frequency domain can be analyzed. Also what has to be applied where. We will try to understand it today. Let us begin. Yes. So if you see dear, so far we have seen that in time domain, if you see, so far we have done time domain analysis, right? Yes. In time domain, if you see, we had used some tools in order to achieve stability or in order to understand whether my system is stable or it is not stable. If you are aware of that, we had started with something called as root locus, right? And we also saw something called as route Hurwitz criteria. Is that right? Yes. Right? Yes. But if you remember, these tools which were there, those were used for time domain analysis, right? But now since we are analyzing a particular system in frequency domain, what are we interested in? We are interested in some tools which help you to find the stability in frequency domain. So for frequency domain, there are some tools. What are the tools? The tools that help you in understanding stability in frequency domain is: number one is the Nyquist stability criteria, and the next one is Bode plot, and something called as Nichols chart is also there, right? But if you check out in our syllabus, we don't have this chart, okay? What we have in our syllabus is Nyquist stability criteria, and we have, right? Yes. So now if you just think of, I'm interested to start in with the first one, which is nothing but the Nyquist plot. What happens in this stability criteria? Let us try to understand that. Yes. So yes dear. So if you see, Nyquist stability criteria gives you only absolute stability. What is absolute stability? You have already learned, but I would just introduce it to you for a time. Yes, stability, right? Yes. See dear, what is absolute stability and what is relative stability? Let us understand. Absolute stability means, for example, you have some system, right? If you answer me that yes sir, this system is either stable or this system is unstable, if your answer is in yes or no, then it means you are asking me about absolute stability of the system. Means yes, if the system is stable then you say yes, if the system is not stable you say no. That's it. Yes and no answer is your absolute stability. Now what is the meaning of relative stability then? It means that how much unstable my system is, how much unstable my system is, or how much stable my system is. This is very important question. This is a very important question, that how much my system is unstable or how much system is stable, right? So this particular thing, this how much, it is given by relative stability. This means that you are trying to understand the relative stability. Is that correct? Yes. But if you check out here, if you check out, Nyquist stability criteria does not give you relative stability. It does not give you relative stability, but it just tells you that whether the system is stable or unstable. So which means it is only informing you about absolute stability. I hope you are understanding this point. So now, in order to understand this Nyquist stability criteria, or in order to apply this particular stability criteria, the first thing you need is what? It is Nyquist plot. You need something called as Nyquist plot in order to understand the Nyquist stability criteria. So let us understand that. In this particular plot, what you have, Nyquist plot, you have basically three things. What are those three things? I will tell you. One thing is it has polar plots. After that, you have something called as mirror image of polar plot. What is that mirror image and all? I will tell you that. Okay, don't worry. And the third thing that you have is other components. What are those components? Also, you will understand them. So, if you see, in order to plot the Nyquist plot, we have to have a clear understanding of something called as polar plot, right? Yes. So if you check out in the past 5 videos, we have talked whole and soul about polar plots, right? So if you see here, your 50% of the work is done. Almost 50% of the work is done because of polar plot and mirror image of polar plot is going to be simple thing, and the other component is simple to simple thing. It is the most easiest thing you can do. What is that thing? I will tell you later, right? So now you may ask me, sir, but okay, no, if absolute stability is known, is that fine? Answer is no. Why? Because see dear, I will explain you that. You have a system, right? This is the system, LTI system, right? Then what you have is the block. You have some block which is nothing but a controller or a compensator. What is that? You will understand that in the immediate next chapters. Okay, yes. So what happens is, if you know that how much your system is unstable, I am saying the same thing again. See, if I know how much system is unstable or how much system is stable, then I can change some parameters of the system using this particular controller, and I can make the system stable. This is very important point. So you should also know the relative stability. But then if you check out here, this is the disadvantage of this plot, that it does not give you relative stability. It only tells you about absolute stability. So you have to make a note of it. Now you may ask me, sir, but then how can we find this relative stability? Yes, you can find that stability. How? I will tell you. For that you have to use Bode plot. If you remember, I have told you that you have two types of plot which you have to learn. The first one is Nyquist stability criteria and the other one is Bode plot. So if you see, Bode plot also gives you information about the relative stability, so it is advantageous. I hope you are understanding this point, right? Now in the immediate next sessions, we will see how to plot Nyquist plot, because if you see in Nyquist stability criteria, the first thing which you are supposed to be knowing is how to draw a plot, right? Now here also in the first session, what will I do is I will tell you the traditional way, and in the second video I will tell you the shortcuts, and shortcuts will be very easy, right? So let's hope that you will understand the traditional way as well as the shortcuts. And see, shortcuts are very easy, and traditional ways, if you see, traditional way will be important to you in terms of ESE, engineering services exam, so it is going to be very important. So yes, so now stability in frequency domain is discussed. Thank you.